Question number 8. The tension in a horizontal spring is directly proportional to the extension of the spring. T proportional to x. The energy stored in the spring at extension x is E. The energy is stored. Energy is nothing but work done, right? So what I do is I'll write work done, okay, is proportional to x. What is work done in the spring? See, don't use the formula. We'll directly go like this. If your extension is so much, okay, if your extension is so much, if it is x over here, then the energy stored is E, okay, which means what? So work done can also be written as force multiplied by displacement. I can write like this. But he also says T is proportional to x. Let me write it down separately. T is proportional to x, or T is equal to some k into x. When I substitute it over here, I get this as kx into x, which should be equal to kx squared. Let me write W1 over here. Next, what is happening? The energy stored expression is x over here. So I will write this as equal to E over here. E equal to kx squared. What is the work done in the spring? When it changes, when extension changes from x to x by 4, x to x by 4. When it changes from x to x by 4. Now this is at an extension x. At an extension x by 4, what will happen? This will be, just substitute x by 4, which will be x square by 16 over here. When extension changes from x to x by 4, which means what? Is asking you ex minus ex by 4. Okay. When there is a term known as changes, you have to be careful. Okay. Don't just say kx square by 16, okay, which is incorrect. So you should use this one. So this should now be equal to, how much is it? Kx square is E, right? So I can now write this as E by 16. So therefore this should be E minus E by 16, which should be equal to 15 E by 16. In physics, what is important is not the numbers. You need to look at what are the terms given appropriately. Okay, read the terms, then understand the interpretation of these terms. Okay, let us move on to the next one.